this is Zade, and we are playing... Where are we playing? That is a good question. It's probably spoiled by the video title. Yep. Definitely spoiled by the video title, I am sure. We are on the Too Crafty Vanilla multiplayer server. If you've followed my channel for a long time, you know that I was once a member of TooCrafty in the past. I'm actually a founding member of this server. Quite some time ago, I was there for all of Season 1 and a good chunk of Season 2, and then left and then went on my big YouTube break that some of you may be aware of. They had a Season 3 while I was gone, albeit it was pretty short before their server crashed and their world was gone forever. So now we're starting it back up, and I have decided to jump in and join them for Season 4 of Too Crafty. There's just still a lot of my old friends here, and it just seemed like the right place to be for a multiplayer series. So, what does that mean for the channel? It just means we're going to try to add in a second series. We'll keep the single player around, and we will have the multiplayer here on Too Crafty as well. We'll just kind of have maybe a few less single player episodes. I try not to cut them back too much, but you know, time's still limited. I think I can still get a decent amount out, and then we'll also spend time on here, and we'll just kind of try to bounce back and forth a little bit. So as far as this server goes, we are still playing in 1.12. However, we plan on updating to the full version for 1.13, of course, but if a stable enough snapshot comes out before that, we may upgrade early, but as of right now, they're just too unstable, too buggy, not gonna happen. But because they are changing the world generation, mainly for ocean stuff, as many of you are aware, we picked a seed that we started on a big island. This island from north to south is about 1,500 blocks long, and from east to west is about 750 blocks wide. So it's a pretty decent sized island. We are playing in Large Biome, so this entire island is a forest, which is a little unfortunate for the fact that we're stuck here. We are limited to birch and oak. We don't have the other 4 types of wood. We're missing a decent number of other blocks, but hopefully Mojang won't take too long with the update and we'll be able to jump off the island and get all that going. And then the idea with what they say is changing in world generation, worst case scenario is that this kind of ocean that's around us might have some weird little spots underwater where the game kind of generates a little differently as the ocean biomes change, but the rest of the world should be totally fine. And yeah, that's the goal. What are we doing here so far? Of course, that means we are building up a spawn village. It's about, I think, 300-ish blocks that direction. We have picked, I found this little peninsula, and I converted it into an island. So that's where I've made my little starter hut. I actually plan on kind of connecting it to spawn. Let me jump in bed for these guys. So that's kind of just what we're working on now, keeping it simple. You can see a couple of the names on here if you're familiar with the old Too Crafty stuff. Iconic and Mr. Ected are both new. We have invited a few new people to the server. I think 4 so far, brand new members to Too Crafty. Myself and I think maybe some others are somewhat returning to Too Crafty, so hopefully we've got a little bit of an active server going on now, which sounds pretty great. Got a decent little start for a few people off over there, and I don't want to show spawn yet because I know there are a few people who are building right in spawn. Maybe give them a week or two to, probably not 2, maybe 1, a few days to get some spawn stuff going, maybe an intro episode out or whatever before I spoil too much, but it's mostly mild stuff over there right now anyway. I don't know by the time this video goes live if I'll have a complete channel list for this episode, but by the next episode I will have a list in the description for sure of the people who are playing on the server, whether it be their YouTube channel or their streaming link. So there's a few of each on the server. We'll try to get those going on. My plan, I took this peninsula, I converted this river. The river, it kind of poked, I think it ended, there was like this little nook right there, but it was kind of part of this river, just the way it curved funny. And then this river over here had just this little thing that came in about right there. And so I just went ahead, the very first thing when I got over here is, before I built anything, I didn't even have a chest down yet, I started terraforming. Mildly terraformed the island, not much. And I dug this river all the way through here just to cut it off so we'd have just this little tiny island. My plan for now, as long as Mojang doesn't take too long to come out with the updates so we can leave the island, my plan for right now is to set this little area up as a little bit of kind of like my sort of my spawn home, right? But it'll kind of be like a little home out in the country, you know, instead of like being one of the city folk. And then I'll have what I want to convert, somewhat of a dock. I've picked this location just running around, didn't look at any kind of map or anything, but once I'd picked it, I did check out the area on Amidst, and I believe there's an ocean monument off that way. I don't know if it's close enough that we want to wait for 1.13 or just go for it now, but there is an ocean monument over there. We'll see. It might be a waiting thing because I'm not sure how far it is, and we don't want to spawn too many chunks that direction just yet, but we'll see what the other people want to do. I'm not sure that I would use it per se right now, but I'm sure we would want a community thing, and it's so close to spawn that it would be really convenient eventually. And then the idea is all the land that's off that direction, even though most people will admittedly probably come back and forth through the nether, the idea is to kind of build like a little dock area so that at least we can pretend like people run back and forth to the other world and then kind of come in, and I'll have like a little dock. I may build a little bit of like a warehouse type situation here on the island, and then the idea is, of course, in any multiplayer world, we gotta have a XadeMart at spawn. So the concept is eventually right over there we'll have a XadeMart, and over here we'll have like a Xade warehouse. Yeah, Xade house. I don't know, I will work on that. And yeah, so that'll be the little island. We'll have like a little dock, little shack, little manager's shack, and a warehouse, and then a nice little pathway to spawn. Eventually, hopefully, have some kind of rail line, maybe a subway or something that goes over there. And the idea is we'll be able to spawn our, well, not spawn, but stage XadeMart right here on this little island, and kind of just keep a bunch of stuff to sell, and then as things run out I can transport them over there. Maybe have some of the goods even produced here. I don't know if I'll go full on villager trading hall here or not. Sort of depends where we decide to set up an actual base in the future, just because being so close, we have to worry about farms and things can only be so close to each other. Lag, you don't want things going too much when I'm offline, that kind of thing. So we'll see how it shapes up. But that's kind of the idea, even if in the end it ends up being more of a figurative thing, like it's just for show and we can just pretend that we use it. That's kind of the concept. So I built this little shack, and this is just my little AFK house. I may just kind of, my idea is, if I need to go in the other drink, if I need to go in the other room and get a drink or a snack or something, I can just hop in here, and I don't have to worry about getting mauled by mobs while I'm gone for a few minutes, because I haven't lit anything else up, just this little island. So lots of bad guys cruising around. So I can just kind of hop in there and AFK, and then we'll kind of convert this as we go into a little, like the boss's shack when he needs to stay the night by the warehouse. I don't know. And yeah. So got grass over here. Did that the old-fashioned way. No silk touch yet. Had to grow a line of grass over here. Really, it started out as I just pointlessly put these 3 flowers that I found, and I decided I wanted grass underneath them instead of dirt, so I just grew grass over, and then I said, hey, you know what, let's stick some grass in front of our little shack. Why not? So I got a little front lawn. We'll grab some flowers or whatever and get some greenery on there at some point. And then I just made this super basic, it's very, very basic shack, nothing too fancy. It's in the beach, so we kind of just continued with the colors. Just sort of randomly threw in different forms of sand, it's sandstone, smooth sandstone, stuff like that. Tossed a little in there, just to get a little texture. Birch for the windows. Didn't want to bother cooking glass. I thought it might look weird anyway, because it's sort of like a little rustic kind of just shack, and if I had windows in it, I thought it would be too fancy. And then we just went with a really basic roof. It's just kind of, you know, stairs, and then there's a layer of stairs on the inside, and then it's slabbed, so no spawnable spaces up there. And then we just put these little pillars in. I kind of dig it. I thought it looked too plain, and so I just stuck these couple fences and a block right there just to make it look like it's supporting the edge of the roof, and it adds a lot of depth, and it actually really improved the way this house looked. Like, without these, let me actually just, you know what, let me just tear one of these off. Without that, you can still kind of see the other parts, but see how, like, that's just plain and boring and ugly. Just really simply, you know, just a little block, fence, boom. It was so much better. Just a little bit of depth really improves the build. Very nice. I know. I spent hours and hours on that. Alright, it was like 15 minutes. But anyway, now, as I am kind of known for in the past on these multiplayer servers, as I kind of figure out all the stuff I'm doing and what I'm doing with, I tend to hook up other stuff first. So as is semi-usual, I'm starting on a path before I actually build anything. I was just sort of messing around, kind of restricted at the moment, not only because we're missing a lot of blocks on this island, but because we just started the server like a couple days ago, and most of those days I've been largely at work because it's a busy work week for me. So we're also limited to what blocks we have just from what we've been able to get so far, but I wanted to make a nice looking path with bridges. There's a lot of little rivers and stuff on this island. So what I went with is we're going to do a cobblestone pathway. We're just slabbing it so it's got a little depth into the ground there. And we're going to line it with stone brick and just occasionally throw in a little bit of cracked stone brick just to give it a little extra texture because it's really plain. And I'll probably go through as I go. I'll come back occasionally and be like, yeah, let's stick another one right there just for fun. It just adds a little bit of a texture to it. I think it really improves. You can kind of see like, yeah, right there's sort of plain, but if we just pop one in right there, all of a sudden it looks much better already. And we'll just keep it super simple, and this will take us at least most of the way to spawn, if not all the way to spawn. I don't know if anyone else has roads in mind or anything like that. If I need to kind of convert part way, or if I can take it all the way to spawn, we'll see how that goes. And then as far as the bridges, I kind of made these little archways. This one actually ends up being a fairly good arch just because the river's so short. Just over here, you can kind of see that water right there. We're going to cross that with the same type of bridge just a little ways over there. But it is about as wide as it is right here. So it's actually going to end up being flat. It's really just the archway going up to the bridge and the archway going up to the bridge, and then it'll be flat on top. Because that one's so wide, I might try to add some kind of pillar in the middle or a couple in the middle depending on how it looks. And yeah, and that just kind of, here it just happens to be the perfect angle to make an archway, but I think it looks pretty good. You know what, this would look, I think this would look better if I stuck a block right there and right there. Yep, looks better. And then we're just farm some clay every time. I've been seeing it in the rivers and stuff. For the bridges, we're just going to use these stone brick stairs to get up here, and then we're slabbing the top, and we're slabbing the top right here so that we don't have to light the bridges. I messed around with a couple different options for light sources, and I hated the way they all looked, especially since I'm limited to torches. So it's kind of incorporating how can I stick a torch on these, and I didn't like any of them. And I didn't want just random torches there, so we're going to go with the slab trick, and that way the bridges will be nice and safe. The pathways, I'm kind of thinking, we'll see how it goes. I put them all away, just maybe random cobblestone fence, just like one cobblestone fence and then a torch on top, maybe even off to the side a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll worry about that later. I'm not too concerned. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you what I've done so far, which, you know, it's not much, but we're just getting started. Wanted to give you an idea of what's going to go on here. And beyond that, I don't know exactly where the series will take us. I always just kind of play that kind of stuff by ear. But wanted to let you guys know that I am back on the TooCrafty server. TooCrafty is back. They haven't been making anything since their server died in, I think it was like October, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on the date. And yeah, and they were kind of holding off, like I think a lot of people are, for the 1.13 update, and just got sick of waiting. You know, we've been kind of planning some stuff for a little while. Everyone just got too excited, and so we just said, let's just start in 1.12, and we'll stay on the island until it's time to go. It seems like a good plan to me. Again, I don't know if I'll have a full list in this video or not. We'll see how much I can get by then. A lot of it, we're still inviting a couple of people. This Mr. Ected literally just joined, like, right before I hit record, and there's at least one more person pending an invite. And then we're kind of seeing some of the older members who's going to jump in and start again and things like that. So I don't have an exact list yet, but hopefully I will soon. I'll definitely get one by the next video. But I think we're going to call it right there for today, because there's not much else to show unless we head all the way over to spawn, which is a little ways away. And again, I want to give people a day or two if they want to record a little info before everyone spoils it. I'm sure most of them don't care, because it's like, it's at spawn. They know it's going to be seen, but we'll still give them a chance. So, that's going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, this is Zade. Have a good one. Bye-bye.